Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Prime of Midlife. It's Sunday evening. We're live for Sunday evening chat. Please remember to hit the like button and do the stuff and things. And who have we got? Linda, you managed. Yay, well done, you. Yes, I do agree that never ends, but thankfully I am not the person doing that. Darren, good evening. Louise, hello. Dottie, good evening. Patrick, welcome. Cluster Bungle, hello. So, how are we all? I have had a very restful day, so I'm quite happy with that. That definitely needed done. These specs are definitely squint. I may have to try and fix these. Little Trader, good evening. Popcorn Boxing, hello. So, as I said earlier, I have had a quite a quiet day, which is rather good. Oh, bless. Anna, you're quite right. Andrew, you make sure you look after that poorly collie. I had a little Sheltie collie when I was a kid. Oh, damn, that's a very nice thing to say. Thank you. Julia, good evening. Yes, we're doing well today. I think possibly because we slept lots. I think that had quite a thing to do. But I'm very excited. Just before I came on, I did a little bit more recording to try and do the audiobook. And this time it was much better because I was more relaxed. But because my window faces onto the road, you can hear the cars really loudly. So what I'm thinking is I will take the microphone down with me to the caravan. And then when I waken up at stupid o'clock in the morning and nobody else is up, I can sit and record in the piece. I think that sounds like a plan. So we've got Julie, good evening. Carol, hello. And Donna, nice to have you here. Susan, good evening. So, yes, and budgeting. Oh, budgeting. I need to budget. I hate budgeting, but I need to budget. Justine, good evening. Prizzy Honey, good evening from Arizona. Yeah, budgeting is one of those things that we have to do that I don't do at all. I basically pay the bills and then whatever's left, that's there. Evening, Mary. Nice to see you. But having watched Jane on Frugal Queen in France earlier, and I was like, do you know, it could be that simple. But as I said earlier, I've got so much stuff to do this month. So what I shall do is I shall plan to budget, and I shall get my little notepads because I have many, and I have many envelopes, and I've got my cash stuffing thing there for the 100 days, etc. So I think for April, we will start doing, oh, look, the beginning of the financial year. We will do budgety things. So, yeah, that I think it's something that I've managed to do without up until now. But having been to this, having seen some of the prices in the shops recently, I'm a bit sort of like, really? So I definitely need to be budgeting. And Linda, yes, you're right. It is a challenge. I find it a huge challenge, but it does need to be done, sadly. Um, but apart from that, do you know what? I'm quite quite good. Hal Ming, thank you so much. That's so kind of you to say. That's another thing I had thought of when I was doing the audiobook. Since I started this channel, a lot of people have said that my accent reminds them of relatives or they find it quite relaxing. And also, Mum was saying in the care home that there's not an awful lot for her to do if there's no activities booked. And I thought, well, I can send her messages or I can record an audiobook because if it's my voice, it should be quite a comfort to her. So I thought that would be a good plan. So yes, that's my thing. Or like a little sis to talk to. That's nice. Thank you. Me being an only child, I wouldn't have a clue what that is, but that is such a funny thing. In case we have a thing Anne and John, who we're going on holiday with, is Patrick's brother and sister-in-law. And they come from large families, and I don't. Obviously, I'm an only child. And they just think it's hysterical because I have no clue what to do if they all get together. There's just way too many, and they all like have banter with each other and they insult each other and they laugh and they joke. And I'm sitting there like, what's going on? It's just so weird. So, yes, that's quite weird with that and quite funny. Evening, Ben. Oh, see Scotland. Yeah, there's a lot of people doing that as well. And hopefully, Patrick and I have the plan that when the weather gets a bit better, we'll go out on the bikes. So I will take videos when I'm out on the bike, which will take you up to much more rugged Scotland sort of thing. So, what do you mean? What's happened to the chat server, Darren? I don't know what you're talking about. Tracy, good evening. Joe, hello. 115 your immediate family. Anna, I would have conniptions. I would hide in a corner. I'm useless at it. I really am. It's just it's oh, Discord, Darren, thank you. Yes, I stopped doing Discord when I was ill, and I haven't quite got myself back to it because I'm still struggling time wise. But yes, I think that is a good thing. I think Discord is definitely a way to go for everyone to chat when whenever you're about. Just for moral support, a laugh, a joke. Um, and I think I tried to put it on my phone, but it wouldn't let me on, so I have to use a laptop. So this throwing a wee comment in while I was on my phone didn't work as much as I thought it would. But yes, Discord is definitely coming back. Zelda, good evening. Glennis, good evening. And yes, we're definitely up for Poorly Collie recovering. We like that. So yes, that's the cunning plan so far. I'm thinking, I have a voice, I may as well use it. And as I said, Mum definitely, I think, could do with that as well. Cluster bungle, I'm with you. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, everyone I've met in Patrick's extended family has all been lovely, but I just don't know how to cope when there's a lot of people there. And it's bad enough. I mean, it's like we laugh because I can go to the theatre, I can do that. But I remember years ago, I went to the rugby and we were standing pitch side. It was like a semi final or whatever. And I turned round and I saw the stands were full, which they'd never been before. So yeah, that wasn't fun. That completely like threw me. It was quite weird. The update on the fire brigade with our biscuits is, oh my goodness, how fabulous are you all? And thank you very much. The guy that I was speaking to on the video, he works closely to us. So we normally see him passing every few days. And he was like, he came in and said, I'm so sorry, the guys didn't realise when you were there because they were doing the thing. That you had brought so much stuff, but now they've realised. So thank you very much. So that was quite nice to hear. So yes, they are enjoying chocolate biscuits on Tuesday nights now. Alan, good evening. Lana, hello. Lara from Greece, yes, prepping is so important no matter where you are. And for many of us, we didn't realise that that's what we were doing. But now we've sort of found an umbrella sort of thing. It helps us so much to have other people to speak to have other people to ask questions about. One of my things was when I got Mylar bags, I had what was it, 25k bag of sugar or something. And thankfully somebody in one of the YouTubes that I had watched had said, do not put oxygen absorbers in with sugar because it'll go rock hard. So it's all those little things that you learn. Mine has to be when I was doing the roasted carrots and I was dipping the carrots in oil. And then someone said, why don't you just put it in a tub with some oil and shake it? That saved me so much time, and it had never occurred to me. And that, I think, is one of the big things of having such a good community, is that you get, when you go in not knowing what you're doing, or someone's got a time saver, and it's really, really good. We like that. Oh, Donna, you've got the COVID. Yep, that's what I had over Christmas and New Year. 2 weeks I was just literally sat in the chair doing nothing. It was a bad one. So yeah, take care. Lots of hot drinks. Keep yourself cozy, and just rest, because it took me. I mean, I was off. Well, I was off for 2 weeks because of the Christmas holidays, but I mean, I was barely able to go back to work on the Monday. I was still walking about, with a box of tissues and everything. It was ridiculous. So yes, take good care of yourself, because that is not good. But hopefully, if you manage to get rested and take some time, then you should be okay. Which also is a good thing for watch your preps for that, your medicines, because I think I went through Christmas and New Year I wiped out everything. All the cold and flu remedies, all the tissues, I wiped out absolutely everything in 2 weeks. And that was just me. Kathleen wasn't even ill. So yeah, you want to make sure that if you are ill, try and start getting someone to buy extra so that you've got stuff stashed, because you go through it so quickly when you've got a bad flu or COVID or something like that. It's definitely, it's not fun. So yeah. So another thing there's Baby Tails. Hello. Nice to see you. The other thing, obviously, we're talking about this, today was the finishing what you started. Obviously, because I'm going away next week, I am not shopping this week, apart from the fact it's the week before payday. So, it is a case of finish what is there, use what you've got. Obviously, I'm trying to clear out my freezer as well, which is a good thing. But yeah, it's keeping an eye on what you've got, and definitely stocking up on what you find that you don't have. There's Linda at C, completely agreeing. Cleared out all of your stock with COVID for the second time. Yeah, I mean, it takes such a small amount of time, because most of those cold and flu remedies with the capsules that you get, it's like 2 days worth in a box. And I was ill for 2 weeks. So yeah, that's definitely something to keep an eye on. Oh, sea view videos, Willow, absolutely no problem. I will be out my balcony. I will be sitting there at stupid o'clock in the morning. There will be sunrises, there will be sunsets, there will be listening to the waves. I am so looking forward to this. Just because it's just a wee space beside the sea. So it's very relaxing. So we'll do that. I might even go as far as going down onto the sand and actually being right there on the beach, with shells and things. We're very wary about that for me, because I fall down so easily. I am very accident prone. So we are quite wary about letting me walk on a beach. But this one's sand, so it's not so bad. But yeah, like stone beaches, we don't put me walking on stone beaches, because I just go over my ankle as soon as I look at them. It's pointless. But yeah, I'm hoping to get a lot done while I'm there. As I say, I want to do some voice recording. I want to try and finish off my crochet, because it's not got any further, really. I think I've done maybe 2 rows since I was last at the Caravan, which was in September. So yeah, this is This is going to be the time where we tick boxes, we get past things, we make lists. I am taking my prepping planner with me, which I think is somewhere around about here because I was using it just not that long ago. But yeah, I'm taking the prepping planner with me because I'll just be sitting quietly. There'll be nothing in my head saying, oh, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. So I can just sit and relax. And if something comes into my head, I can write it down. I'll take the laptop. I can type something up if I want to. And I'll just be able to go. And the great thing is that I have a ridiculously dreadful sleep pattern. So I am awake normally the back of 5 in the morning and I just creep out of bed. And I've normally left clothes through in the sitting room of the caravan. So I creep out of bed and go through and make myself tea and toast. And then I sit. She needs a bigger car. Stop it. Imagine Patrick saying he needs a bigger car. Really? But yeah, I go through in the morning and that's my time where I just sit and do nothing and normally go out on the beach or go out and sit in the balcony and watch the sunrise. So yeah, that'll be nice. So yes. And there you go, it needs a bigger car. Don't even start me. Yes, Willow, don't even start me on that either. It's still sitting in my kitchen. For anyone who doesn't know this, I got a couple of sheep's fleeces from a local farmer. And I had the fabulous idea that because we had down at the caravan, there's a balcony. And I was like, oh, I can make it into a felted rug because out in the balcony, the water can drip all off there, stuff like that. And Patrick's just like, no, we're not taking the fleeces. Just no. So yes. And Willow, you're not in the least bit sorry. You're just doing it to wind me up. So you are. Just yeah. And the bigger the car, the more she will bring with her. As if I would do that. What caravan make do you have? I'm Jessica. It's not actually my caravan. It's Haven Holiday Park. And I found this, the park Craig Tara down in Ayr. It has caravans which literally are right on the beach, and they have balconies, like little balcony things, and I can sit there and listen to the waves, etc. So it was a sort of decision because we'd gone to different caravan holidays before, and we were just in the middle of the caravan park, and then I found this one and I treated us for Patrick's birthday, and that was his Christmas present, was this caravan down on the beach. And I just book it twice a year now, so because I just enjoy it so much and find it so relaxing, and it's one of those things of, it's worth the money to me to pay that extra. Ben, really? Okay, so now everyone's taking the mickey out of me because of the amount of stuff I take with me. And there's Willow saying to Ben, can she borrow the lorry? Really? Donna, yes. Can't make lip balms at the moment, so finding recipes for new products. See, that is a good plan. Caroline, good evening. Yeah, it's going to be nice and relaxing, Lana, which, considering we didn't particularly relax over Christmas and New Year because I was so ill. So yeah, this is the place where I have found that I relax, and it literally is. I just, we're going to go in, we'll put the kettle on and we'll have a cup of tea, and I'll be out in the balcony. It'll take minutes before I'm out there with my cup of tea quite happily. So yeah, And as I say, it's worth the extra money to me to not be surrounded by other caravans, to actually be sitting looking out on the beach. That is just phenomenal. And, I like to share it with you, so I take videos. Good evening, Lorraine. Nice to see you. It's just as well. I know you love me, Linda. Honestly, I'd be like, oh, goodness. Can't book any holidays. Looking for work much money now. Oh, sorry to hear that, baby tails. But fingers crossed for you. I have faith. Oh, good grief, Jessica. Okay, I did not. Now there's something to. There's actually a very good question. Good evening, Suzanne. Nice to see you. Be cheaper than owning one with the overheads. Who knew about the over? I did not know about the overheads. Jessica, thank you for that. Now, there's something, if you're thinking about owning a car, owning a caravan, owning anything, it's actually worthwhile working out the overheads, because there's Jessica just said she's 500 a year for owning a four berth, and best will in the world, getting a four berth parked right on a beach is not easy. So it's definitely something to think about. Nadine, good evening. And Joe, hello. Oh, baby tails. Interview on Wednesday. Yay! Right, everybody, Wednesday we are doing positive energy to baby tails so that she can get her new job. So Wednesday is the good luck to baby tails. Here's my pen. Do I have my bit of paper? No. Well, that's about as much as a chocolate fireguard. Right, somebody else, everybody else, you have to remind us on Wednesday or Tuesday night, you need to remind us. We're going to be sending out positive energy to baby tails. Oh, and Anna, you have to pay the ground rent. Quite right. Oh, cluster bungalow. I toured a caravan like twice in my life. Never again. Just no. Definitely not happening. Oh, thank you, Donna. I did not know that. I know that when I was looking, when I was like, right, okay, we'll do the caravan for Patrick's birthday, I was like, I want a beach one. And I actually booked the other one over Edinburgh side because we hadn't gone that way before. And I was like, right, I want this sea view, etc., etc. And I booked it. And then I went on and I went and had a look at where the sea view caravans were. And there was a road between the caravans and the beach, like a proper main road. So I phoned them up and went, no, Craig Tara, thank you very much. So you've got to watch for things like that as well. Linda, 35-foot RV a couple of years ago, loved driving it, but storage during about £350 a month. Good grief. Well, $350, but 350 is still the same tone of voice. I bet you do, Linda. My parents had an RV and they loved it, which was good. Cheaper to rent an apartment, the charges for ground rent, etc. Ridiculous. Yep. Need the service for the warranty, insurance, car breakdown, which covers the hours, and that's before you turn a wheel. Oh, bless. Oh, Joe, thanks for coming in. Have a good night, sweetheart. Popcorn, but I have potatoes and now they're soft. I wouldn't be eating them if they're soft, popcorn. Definitely not. But then it's not something I've ever done. I don't grow potatoes, so I don't know much about them. So, but yeah, soft potatoes I would not be doing. I'm presuming you mean by soft as in squishy. If they're just a little bit soft, then like not the solid, then I've done that. I have eaten slightly soft potatoes, but if they're proper squishy, then no, you don't do that at all. So yeah, there's baby tails with it. No, it's squishy. Okay, yeah, squishy is not good. We're not doing that at all. We don't do that. Claire, good evening. Nice to see you. But that is one of the I have to say one of the greatest things I've found with the dehydrator is if I get a load of veg, I haven't used it, I will give myself a couple hours and force myself to go and prep it and get it dehydrated because then it means I can put it in soups and stews, etc., and I haven't wasted anything. So yeah, the dehydrator has made a big difference for that. Claire, nice to see you. Evening, Slim. Um, so yeah, that definitely is something that is should be pebble dash in the bathroom wall. Yeah, Anna, I would agree with you on that one. um, but yeah, it's something. I throughout the years I have wasted so much veg because I've bought something that's an offer and I've made like I'll buy a bag of the baby potatoes because I'll be like I want to make potato salad and stuff like that. And then I've still got half a bag of potatoes and they start sprouting. I did a couple of years ago when that happened. I planted them and got marbles by the time they'd grown, which I'd still boiled up and ate. So yeah, Darren, what is that number for? Oh, thanks, Charlotte. Nice to see you. Nice of you to say hi. You got a second dehydrator. Good plan. If you're using it that much. Oh, electrocute. That's what I've got. Is the 6 shelves. Don't know if it's got a 48-hour timer. I've never gone that far. Stainless steel. That sounds like mine. That's not bad considering I got mine a couple of years ago and it was £89. So it's only gone up £20 in a couple of years. That is not bad. But yeah, mine is the electrocute. Whatever that is that Slim's put on, that Darren's put on. That's what I use. And all I had to get was some silicon mats, and that was me sorted. And I've dehydrated so much stuff. The amount of onions I dehydrate is ridiculous. And mushrooms. I dehydrate a whole lot of onions and mushrooms. What is coming next in the dehydrator? As I found when I was going through the freezer, I have a couple of bags of casserole veg, which I have not used in ages. So they're going to come out. They're going to get defrosted because why would I use the dehydrator to defrost them? I will just leave them sitting out overnight and I'll put them in a dehydrator and then I use them for stews and meals and soups and stuff and things. Evening, Linda. Oh, dogs wouldn't pee quickly. Bless them. Of course you can, Willow. What do you want to pick our brains about? Reduced price leaks, then vacuum packed. Sensible, Jessica. I really need to get myself a vacuum packer. I really, really do. I shall investigate that while I'm off on holiday. Because, was it Lidl's or Aldi's had them in the middle? I'll see if the one down in Ayr still has them. But yeah, I haven't bought the vacuum sealer yet, and I really should because it would take up much less space in the freezer for things that are flat packed rather than the takeaway size tubs. Plus the fact, if you were here last year, I found some pre-made meals that I put in the freezer ages ago, and they were further down the freezer, and things had landed on them, so all the lids were broken. Ninja air fryer has a dehydrating button. Not sure I would trust it. I know there's some air fryers say they have a dehydrating setting. Mine doesn't. But I have the dehydrator, so that's what I use. 3-year-old chocolate in the freezer. Yeah, well, do you know, you just never know when you might need it for emergencies. 3-year-old chocolate, I'd be adding butter to it, making like a ganache thing to go in a cake. Cake. I haven't made cake in ages. I really need to make cake. I need to find a cake tin that goes in my thingy bob air fryer. That would be good. Nanny Bobs, good evening. Welcome, Maxine and Kitty. Hello. Maxine, how much does a dehydrator cost to run? Patrick, we roughly worked that out. It's not too expensive. But yeah, Patrick, if you can let us know roughly what sort of thing it works out as. Yeah, Linda, I've noticed that I have gadgets and I am running out of space again. Willow, you're going to have to travel Sheffield to Heathrow to fly transatlantic at possibly only a week's notice. Okay, please tell me, Willow, someone else is buying the tickets for you. Ah, that's why Slim's so quiet. Okay, so, right, people, for those people who do traveling, how can Willow get to travel, fly transatlantic? So, does that mean what is it you're looking to make as frugal? Is it your accommodation, eating out? What are we looking to frugalize, Willow? Says me that's not done transatlantic travel in like 20 years. So I am not really going to be any good to you, I'm afraid. Oh, the getting from Sheffield to Heathrow and the being at Heathrow Airport. Oh, that's a goodie bag if ever I heard one. Sheffield to Heathrow, your trains are going to be expensive if it's only a week's notice. You might have to do a bus and then sleep on the plane. But goodie bags, I used to always, when I was going down to London to see Patrick, I always took goodie bags with me. Very seldom bought anything on the train because it cost a fortune. Oh, ribs and rice. Look at them. Enjoy them. Will some care homes have a site similar to Facebook? Think it, call it family. Oh, thank you, Anne. I will have a look at that. Car parking thing you can. Oh yeah, there is. There's. Oh, I can't remember. It's something stupid like Airbnb does car parking spaces, but I don't think it is Airbnb, but something like that you wouldn't think. Yeah, Megabus. I did that for London once. So much walking, so make sure you get there early enough. Good point. Train strikes messing with trains to London as well. Oh, yep. Oh, well done you, Linda. Hey, box under your bed with 4 weeks worth of stuff. That's pretty good going. You know, mine. That's exactly the sort of thing that mine started as. I'm just trying to think. Where did mine start? Mine started up in my. I think it was up in my wardrobe. I started mine because I didn't have the other cupboards. So I started filling up the cupboards I had, and then it was like, no, I need to go up the stairs. So I went up the stairs, and I used Kathleen's room quite a lot at first. Then she came back, so I couldn't use it anymore. So yeah, potato chips and onion dip. Oh, nice, Suzanne. I like that. Have good evening. Nice to see you. Oh, Linda, yeah, it does help if electricity hasn't gone through the roof. Um, Megabus does cheap tickets, Sheffield to Heathrow. Nice. Too many small appliances. Thing is, Linda, as you say, if you've got a lot to process, if especially if you're running a garden or something, or if you've got, like if you're close to a market so you can get cheap veggies and fruits and stuff, then it does make a difference. If you can get a lot to process, a second dehydrator certainly would be a huge thing. Hi, Sandra. Nice to see you. Don't be silly. You're never late. You're here. That's always a good thing. It says discovered there's budgetish hotels inside the terminal. Oh, Yorkshire to Pennsylvania over a couple of days. I think that sounds very sensible, Will. And again, that's one of those things that I know. I remember there was the train ticket thing, wasn't there? That if you split things, it ended up costing you a lot less. And that can make a big difference. It's just, I think it's a lot of sitting and studying to find out what happens. In South Texas, so Beaumont is not near me at all. Oh, Suzanne, that sounds like us here in the UK. Especially when you say, "Oh, I'm from Scotland." Oh, I know a guy in Scotland. No, actually, that's like 100 miles away from us. No, we don't know them. Texas, I think, is a whole lot huger than Scotland, if I remember rightly. That is a good plan, Nanny Bops. I did that with I moved stuff around in the cupboards so that there was the things that were just gone out of date, the things that were to be eaten in the next 6 months, and then the things that were the tail end of 24, and the things for 2025. Long haul flights, don't they normally provide food? I have no idea, Baby Tails. However, I have seen quite a few social media things where the food on the planes is like, no. So, yeah. Stay in a hotel and terminal night. Oh, you can eat breakfast buffet. Good plan. Popcorn depends if it's, again, is it squishy? If it's squishy, then no, it's not good. Found some tins best before 22, 23. Yep, I've found some of them as well. So, yes, that's a good plan. Oh, bay leaves in the boxes to scare off things. I like that. Slim, you could lose Scotland and Texas. Yeah, I thought you could. I thought that was quite a big thing. 20 times plus. Okay, I feel very small now. Kelly, that is a fabulous idea. I have to say, my kitchen is getting kind of like that, in that most of the proper food stuff is over in the prep side, and over on this side is the things I'm using just now, as you say, like tea, coffee, condiments, etc. Find your rate and ages for it. Yeah, you've lived in Texas, Scotland would improve it massively. Bless. Suzanne, I totally agree with you. I mean, Scotland is breathtakingly beautiful. Even when you live here, there's still some places where you turn a corner and you're like, oh my goodness. For anyone who hasn't heard the story, when Patrick first came up here to visit, and I was like, right, we're going shopping. So we went to the supermarket and we came back and we were at the top of a hill looking down the valley. And he's like, nobody in London would believe this is your drive to go shopping. This is your drive to the supermarket, which is, every so often it's nice to have a reminder. Really careful with processed food. Oh, yep, Linda, that is definitely a thing. Um, the good thing is, though, if you're prepping a bit or, you know, preserving yourself, you can actually change the content of what you've got. And that makes a difference if you've got to be careful of what you're eating. Really careful. Germany's half the size of Texas. Okay, that gives me an idea. And yeah, Scotland's just like negligible compared. A truck in the US. Oh yeah. I think, Ben, I have to say no, because they're like miles and miles and miles with nothing. Um so yeah, no. The roads in Scotland terrify me. Yeah, we have quite small roads, Suzanne, I have to say. Kaolin and powder it to make super green powder. Linda, yep, I have that because I know I'm doing that's what I do because I know I'm not good at eating veggies and stuff. So yeah, that was my thing. I have green powder as well. Teapot, what was my main? It's extreme weather, isn't that? Yep, wasn't the extreme weather, it was the lorry driver strike. That was well, not the lorry driver strike, the lorry driver shortage. When Brexit hit and COVID hit and there wasn't, and and stuff wasn't moving. I am in rural Scotland, so if the lorries don't move, we don't get food. So yeah, that was why I started. And since then, it has helped when it's been snowing, it's helped when there's been power cuts, and oh my goodness, has it helped when I've been not well. So yeah, and it's, as I said a couple of nights ago, it has helped me save a lot of money. So yes, that's my main reason. That's how it started, was because of the problems with moving stuff. Drive down through Scotland to get through Manchester. It is a lovely drive, yeah. I have to say, I thoroughly enjoy driving in Scotland. South Africa, I know, Johan. Yeah, it's 1,000 kilometers. Yep. No, can't. Miles and miles of nothing. Yeah, no, I'm just going to sit in my beach. Shetland. Oh my goodness. I still haven't made it up to Shetland yet because I'm wary of being on a boat for that length of time. Boating is not something I have done a lot of. I have done the ferry to the Isle of Wight and I have done the ferry to France and I've had afternoon tea on the Thames. See, I've been on boats. A ship going up to Shetland, the north is a bit. Yeah, not so sure about that. Teapot, looking forward to seeing your tripod falling again. There better not be any storms when I am down at the caravan this time. I am not going to be happy if there is. No ferry from Shetland to Norway. Okay. It's difficult enough getting a ferry from UK to Shetland. Oh, the Isle of Skye was funny, Ben, I have to say. Steel plates, and I feel like we use it too. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's some serious, serious off-roading, Linda. Isle of Skye, Ben. Yeah. Kathleen and I went up to the Isle of Skye for a holiday when she was younger. And we were, I was single parent and we were doing it so frugally. We stayed in the youth hostel. That's how skint I was. So what we did was we drove up and we went over the bridge. I hate that bridge. I hate that bridge with a vengeance. I was screaming the whole way over the bridge. So then on the way back, I was like, right, we'll drive to the other end of Skye and we'll take the ferry. And the ferry was about 3 times the cost that I thought it was and would have left us with nothing. So yeah, no. We came back and I screamed the whole way back over the bridge again. I'm not good with bridges with angles and stuff. So, yeah, a lot of people are one pay packet away from crisis point. Donna, to be honest, if I didn't have my preps, I would be one pay packet away from crisis point. So yeah, prepping has helped an awful lot. British Columbia, Canada is 40% bigger than Texas. Okay, no. Bus from Blackpool to Skye, 13 and a half hours. Goodness gracious. Oh, hot springs. Nice. Yeah, see, boats. People are wary about boats. Especially when the return ferry got cancelled, had two ferries worth of people crammed on the next day, sleeping on. And oh, no, I wouldn't like that, Cluster Bungle. No, 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 no. Coolin Hills Hotel was nice. Prices have risen dramatic, and there's always a good thing to save money. Plus, larger stars of Lurals now than ever before. Yeah, I'm the same. Baby tails. I have much more Lural now than I ever did in lockdown. Visited time to see up Hellier. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the whole thing about Shetland, isn't it? It's not like it's got trees because the wind is so strong. Rather be in a boat to go over water than on a bridge. Yeah. See, normal bridge, like the Forth Road Bridge, doesn't bother me, but the ones that like go up and curve or go up like that, no, I'm very not good with them. Do I ever pickle veggies? Not really, Teapot. I've never been a big fan of pickles. However, I have done a red onion chutney. I found a recipe for that I really, really liked. Haven't done it for a while, but I did. That's mainly really what I've done, is more like a chutney kind of thing. So yeah. Working to get out of debt. Well done, you. Have to use the food bank. Yeah, there's a lot of people like that, and it is one of those things that. But if you can get, if you're working to get out of debt, if you can get that debt reduced, it just makes things so much easier in case anything goes squinty. I staked in a carvery hanging over the boat and told him to throw it overboard to save me the trouble. Oh, Anna, that's not so good. Baby Tails, you're absolutely right. There are many working people need to use food banks. And if you need to, that's why we donate to food banks, to food pantries, because so many more people are needing to use them who weren't before, because there's not been wage rises, but there has been food increases, and it just is so difficult for a lot of people to try and keep body and soul together. If your rent's gone up over £100 a month, £200 a month in some cases, your council tax has gone up, your electricity has gone up by a huge amount. Food is one of your budgets where you just cut it. And sometimes you can't cut it anymore because it's bad for your health. And if that means you need to go to a local food pantry or a food bank, then that's what you do. And I know some people I know who are working and they don't use a food bank as such, but they use one of the food pantries where you pay so much per week or per month and you get reduced food. So they are at least feeling that they're contributing because they are working. So they don't want to be using a food bank. They don't want to be taking from people who are struggling so much more than them, but they are still struggling. So they have gone to the thing, the place where there's, where you pay a little. Bridge over the Columbia River at a store. Yeah, I'm not even going to look at that, Linda, if that's one of those. Healthy eating is mega expensive. Yeah, it can be, damn. No popcorn. Baron 100, good evening. Can't survive in a rage. Yeah, no, no, this is the thing, we all talk about, you know, nurses and doctors and that going on strike, but we forget that they've got so much student debt to repay that they're really struggling. And years ago when people my age did nursing and such, it was grants, it wasn't loans. So yeah, community fridge, that is exactly. Community fridge is exactly what it is. The thing where, you pay a little bit. Um, so yeah, understand if your friend is recently qualified student debts, exactly. At least a few pound of the grocery budget goes to helping the food bank. Nenny, thank you for that. That is why part of the thing of this channel is we do the making a difference, because there's a lot of us who can't afford to give the way that we used to. But what you can do is watch the adverts on this channel, and then we go and we donate on your behalf. So yeah, that's part of our way of trying to help. Again, we'll be donating while we're down on holiday because that takes it out with my local area so that it sort of spreads it. So yeah, that's what we do. Corner of the world here in Scotland, Food Bank is community run. It's non-referral and all are welcome. Yeah, baby tails. I'm quite conscious about that in our donations. We do not donate to referral food banks. We only donate to food banks or community fridges that do not require a referral. That's just a thing. So, oh, Patrick, good point. So yeah, exactly. We've had the conversation above where people are saying, I don't want to use a food bank. I'm ashamed to use a food bank, especially when I'm working. As Patrick says, it's the people in power should be ashamed of the number of food banks in this country. The people who have to use them because their wages don't cover their expenses should not be ashamed at having to use food banks. The people who have not paid their staff enough or who have not done sorted out things, they're the ones who should be afraid that the UK has so many food banks. The people who use the food banks should not be feeling that way at all. See, don't even get me started. I'll get stroppy and everything. We don't want that. Linda, thank you for that. Willow, no, I haven't chosen yet because I don't want people or I don't want anywhere to expect me. So we're going to have a look and see what's down in Ayr, Kilmarnock, anywhere like that. Put boxes and bags and you don't know what you're getting. Yeah. It's not so. Very fact that food banks are necessary on a huge scale. Yeah. What's that? Little Trader, good evening. 1,400 trussel food banks in the UK, in addition to 1,100 independent food banks. During COVID, a few neighbours made food stations and set up from the edge of their property. Yeah, that's the thing. It's, we are going to have to start looking at different ways of helping people. Because there was that community through COVID and stuff, and there's not as much now. And I think reading that book about my ancestor who started a free breakfast for people when he was doing the conversion thing, stuff like that. Do you know, it's like it's needed again. Now, this was back in the 1800s. He started that. Why on earth are we doing this again? Why has it come back to that when there's more billionaires than there's ever been in the world? Just no, we don't like it. Just donated my gifting budget to the organisations with that help the homeless with food. Sandra, that was very kind of you. Well done, you. 3 times a year and that's you. Yeah, I don't get that either, baby tails. Spending more than what's coming in. Yeah, I mean it's just there's so much going on. There's so much. Life is becoming so much more difficult just now, which is I don't know. It's just people saying different things, and as someone's just put there, there isn't such a thing as an emergency payment in universal credits. You have to wait 5 weeks for money. Who's got 5 weeks of stuff behind them? Who's got over a month of electricity payments, rent payments, etc., sitting there if they've just lost their job and have to go on universal credits? It's not sustainable. And it's so difficult for people. So as I say, that's why when we donate, we try and do things that are helping people that don't have to jump through hoops. As far as I'm concerned, food banks that demand a referral, not interested in helping them. Because if that happened to me, especially locally, then I would have to go to my doctor. I would need to find a social worker. I couldn't just go to people who've known me for years and say, look, I've lost my job. I've been out of work for a couple of weeks. I'm waiting. Can you help me out here? For them to turn around and have to say to me, well, no, sorry, you need to go to the doctor and get referred. Quite enough. Just no. So, yes. Oh, Sandra, that's very kind. Having a food stash brings a lot of peace of mind. And when the prices go up, you appreciate it even more. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Linda. And I know that there's a lot of people who are struggling to get a food stash. And that's why we do the donations that we do. That's why I do the donations that we do. Best Willow, yes, there was many, many years ago. Because I remember going into the unemployment office. I was living in Edinburgh and I had lost my job, and I had applied for the dole, the equivalent, or whatever it is, and it didn't come through. And it was supposed to come through in a week, and it got to like 2 weeks. So I went down, and I was not used to the dole office, especially in a big city. That really freaked me out. And they called me forward and they're like, well, no, it's not been. And I was like, no, I'm sorry. You need to sort this out or I will, have to do stuff. And it turns out that the person who was dealing with my claim was on holiday and nobody had looked at my claim. So I was like, well, you need to give me an emergency payment. And I got a check that day. I got a gyro check that day. But that was many, many years ago. Like that was when I was about 20. So you're talking about 30 years ago now. Oh yeah, doctor's appointment, don't even start. Yep. Being resourceful it's a huge thing of being able to keep something just in case. Yeah, the magic money tree. Many times we heard about that. Shetland's on my list. Take seasickness pills and keep ginger candy handy. Not a good plan. Universal credit won't give me anything while I'm off sick. Oh, statutory sick pay. That's about as much use as a chocolate fireguard. People just assumed such a thing wasn't available. Yeah, probably. Oh, Slim, everyone's giving their cash away. It's complete nonsense. But we're not going to do that at this time on a Sunday night, people. We are now going to be nice and calm and go make ourselves a cup of tea and not start that. Because once I start, I'll just start ranting and it's way too late. But yeah, baby tails, I completely agree with you. Right. I am going to love you and leave you because I need to go and let the cat in. I can hear her. So I'll go and let the cat in and I will catch you later. See you later.